And I will not have strip joints in Dolton. I will not have more liquor spaces in Dolton. So I constantly fight for the people.
Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're diving into another board meeting, and no surprise here, Tiffany's at it again. She loves to remind everyone that she's fighting for the people, and this time she's making it clear that as long as she's in charge, there won't be any new liquor stores or strip clubs in Dolton. Sounds like full-on campaign mode, right? As usual, we're about to catch her in more contradictions because, well, she just can't seem to stop. But before we get into that, let's start by hearing her latest speech about her so-called dedication to the residents. Let's take a listen.
This is supposed to be a community about family, not places where you go and club all the time and every other weekend it's a shooting or something going wrong.
You know what? That actually sounds great. I'm all for making communities more family-friendly, safer for kids, and just better overall. But it's hard to believe she really means it when her actions have always told a different story. Perfect example. There's a clip making the rounds online, and let's be honest, once something's recorded, it's only a matter of time before it ends up on the internet. Tiffany either doesn't get that or just doesn't care, probably the latter, because she's too focused on staying in the spotlight. At this point, I think even she knows her reputation is beyond saving. So let's check out what she considers family fun.
Just back and forth and play a haters line and they got blocking punks. So it's the
All right, you guys get the idea. No need to play too much of that music. YouTube's picky about that stuff anyway. So yeah, you see what's happening. She's up there dancing, bending over, the police are joining in, and of course, Andrew Holmes is right in the mix too. Just picture it. Your town's mayor right in the middle of it all dancing to this kind of music. According to Tiffany, I guess everyone needs to let loose sometimes, right? But at the same time, she claims to stand for family values. The contradictions just keep piling up with her. All right, that's enough of this for today. Let's get back to the board meeting.
Is that if you do have the ability and the whiff to say that I don't want 40 license in town, that's your decision because you're the liquor commissioner. But to uproot these people's livelihoods after 20, 30 years, that's what I have a problem with.
You tell her, Trustee Kiana Belcher. If you don't know who she is, let me introduce you. This is Trustee Kiana Belcher, one of the few people who consistently stands up to Tiffany. She calls things out and holds her accountable, something Tiffany desperately needs on a regular basis. Right now, Kiana is pressing Tiffany on yet another controversy. Shocking, right? There's growing speculation that Tiffany is holding on to properties, denying business permits, and blocking liquor licenses. And let's talk about that for a second. She's both the mayor and the liquor commissioner? How is that not a massive conflict of interest? Somehow she's allowed to do it. In fact, she's not just the mayor of Dolton and the liquor commissioner, she's also the supervisor of Thorn Township. That's way too much power in one person's hands. Honestly, someone should have stepped in and said, no, you can't hold all these positions at once. Because when one person has too much control, corruption isn't just possible, it's inevitable. And unfortunately, that seems to be exactly what's happening in Dolton. All right, let's get back to the board meeting.
So the minute you get to pull in liquor license, because they talk about business license, liquor license, where I am the liquor commissioner, people got an attitude. Now everybody want to talk, but they not telling you how it's hurting our people. And with lesbian, we don't need all them liquor stores and liquor establishments. We got over 40 that you can go buy liquor from. How much liquor you gonna drink? We can cut that. But the minute I say that, then it's, oh, she's stopping the business. No, I'm telling you, let's redevelop our area into something better.
This 300 Sibley redevelopment plan that you so into pushing Restaurant Row wants 9 licensed liquor license and an entertainment venue, which you're not saying, and then asking us to give him $3.5 million.
So not only is Tiffany shutting down businesses and blocking liquor licenses, but now she wants to redevelop a specific part of town, exactly the way she wants it. And surprise, surprise, liquor is going to be involved. She's pushing for some kind of entertainment district. And let's be real, where there's entertainment, there's going to be alcohol. That's just common sense. But now she wants us to believe this whole district, built around entertainment, won't include liquor? Yeah, I'm not buying that. At this point, the corruption isn't even hidden. She's so power hungry she doesn't care anymore. She acts like she's untouchable. And to make matters worse, she's asking for money for this project. But as usual, I doubt the trustees even know all the details. She expects them to approve it blindly while she picks whatever contractor she wants, probably some unknown, questionable company. And of course, there are rumors, claims that she's hiring certain companies, inflating costs and pocketing the extra. Just speculation for now, sure. But when she's actively hiding financial records from the trustees, you have to wonder, what's really going on? All right, let's move on.
So when we start talking about stuff, like you always say, you have your turn to say something. We have our look at the facts. Everything that's documented, because you highlighted only certain stuff. Ask FOIA a copy of the collective bargaining agreement. FOIA the copy of the ordinance of the business license. FOIA the copy of the redevelopment plan and the things that we're going through. This is not to sit up here and to attack nobody. And it's a shame that we get here and y'all just say here, we've been here 2 hours and 15 minutes. An hour, she just talked about everything that somebody attacking her or doing. It's not about attacking nobody. It's about communicating. She don't communicate with us. That's the truth.
So, when Tiffany says, FOIA this, FOIA that, she's talking about the Freedom of Information Act, FOIA. This law is meant to give the public access to government records, though of course there are some exceptions. Kiana Belcher is basically saying, if you want the truth, just file a FOIA request and you should be able to get the information. But, big shocker, that doesn't always seem to work. Once again, Tiffany Henyard is being accused of blocking access to public records. And this time, the people she's shutting out? A news outlet. Let me go ahead and play this clip for you.
WGN is suing the village of Dolton for refusing to follow open records laws and release spending records. Last year, WGN Investigates sent Dolton an open records request seeking copies of the agency's credit card statements, as well as records relating to Mayor Henyard's compensation and the cost of her taxpayer-funded vehicle. But Dolton has declined to release the documents. After WGN Investigates appealed, Illinois Attorney General Kwame Raoul's office ordered Dolton to release the records by mid-March, but that deadline came and...
So yeah, guys, it's the same story. Zero transparency. And that's wild, considering she never stops bragging about how transparent she is. She's always saying, I ran on transparency. That's all I've been doing since I became mayor. But really, where? Where has she been transparent? Does she even realize she's the mayor of Dolton? Because if she did, she'd see the chaos and controversy happening under her leadership. She hasn't been working with the board of trustees. She hasn't been open with them. And based on everything we've seen, she's doing the exact opposite of what she claims. Honestly, I have no idea what reality she's living in, but it's definitely not the one the rest of us are in. With that, I'm going to wrap things up here. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like. And if you're new, hit that subscribe button. See you guys next time.